Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, diving into one such coin that has taken collectors by storm. The Connecticut State Quarter from 1999. This quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's legendary 50 State Quarters program, a series that began in 1999 and ran through 2008, releasing 5 new quarters each year, each honoring a different U.S. state. The Connecticut Quarter was released as the 5th in the series, but it quickly became one of the most talked about among collectors. And there's a reason. At first glance, it might not seem too different from any other quarter you've used in a vending machine or handed to a cashier. On one side, you'll find the familiar face of George Washington, just like all U.S. quarters since 1932. But flip it over, and you're greeted with a beautifully intricate engraving of the Charter Oak, a tree that holds deep historical meaning for the state of Connecticut. The Charter Oak is not just a tree. It's a symbol of resistance, independence, and identity. Legend has it that in the late 1600s, when an English governor tried to take away Connecticut's royal charter, the people hid it in the hollow of this very tree to protect their rights. That bold act of defiance still echoes in the hearts of many, and it's beautifully captured in this 1999 design. Now, while millions of these quarters were minted and circulated across the country, not all Connecticut quarters are created equal. Some of them have hidden secrets, tiny mistakes, or anomalies that happen during the minting process. And it's these rare errors that have turned ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. So, what kinds of errors should you be looking for in your pocket change? Let's talk about that point. One of the most desirable error types is the double die, where the design on one side of the coin is accidentally struck twice, creating a shadow-like doubling effect. In the Connecticut quarter, some rare specimens show doubling on the branches of the Charter Oak or in the inscriptions like Connecticut or the Charter Oak. These double die errors are highly sought after by numismatists because they are rare and easily visible, even without a microscope. Another error that has sent values soaring is known as a clad layer error. You see, quarters are made from layers of different metals, copper and nickel. Sometimes, the top nickel layer doesn't properly bond, resulting in coins with exposed copper cores or partially missing layers. These misprints are unusual and instantly recognizable, making them hot items on the collector's market. Then there are off-center strikes, where the coin's image is printed noticeably off from the center, creating a unique, lopsided look. This happens when the blank coin isn't properly aligned during minting. The more off-center the strike, without losing important features like the date or inscriptions, the more valuable the coin can be. Some Connecticut quarters have even been discovered with broad strikes, which means the coin was struck without the retaining collar, causing the edges to spread out wider than normal. These coins look almost stretched and have a flat, smooth edge. They're very unusual and instantly catch the eye of collectors. So, why do collectors get so excited about these errors? Well, coin collecting isn't just about beauty or age. It's about rarity, uniqueness, and history. When a coin has an error, it becomes one of a kind, a small piece of an unintentional story that slipped through the cracks of the U.S. Mint. Owning a rare error coin is like owning a little accident of history, something that wasn't supposed to exist, but somehow does. Collectors love this kind of mystery. The Connecticut quarter, with its already rich historical symbolism, becomes even more exciting when you add the element of rarity and error. Combine that with the fact that it was one of the first 5 coins in the State Quarters program, a program that reignited America's love for coin collecting, and you've got a piece that speaks to both the heart and the wallet. Now, you might be wondering, how much can a rare 1999 Connecticut quarter actually sell for? That depends on several factors. First, the condition. Coins that are uncirculated, meaning they've never been used in everyday transactions, are worth far more than those that have seen years of wear and tear. Second, the type of error. The more dramatic or unusual, the better. And third, demand, which is always high for the early state quarters, especially with errors in recent years. collectors and dealers have paid premium prices for flawless or rare Connecticut quarters. Some of these coins have been professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC, ensuring authenticity and condition. These graded coins often command much higher prices at auctions and private sales. And yes, believe it or not, one of the rarest examples of the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter, featuring a unique and dramatic mint error in pristine, uncirculated condition, was reported to have sold for an astonishing $83,000. Yes, you heard that right. 83,000 US dollars for a single quarter. So next time you get change at the grocery store or clean out that old coin jar at home, take a moment to look closer. You might be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. Check the date, inspect the design, and don't be afraid to grab a magnifying glass. Who knows? You could discover a hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. Top 2, we're exploring one of the most fascinating coins in the U.S. State Quarters program, the Massachusetts State Quarter from the year 2000. At first glance, it might seem like just another coin, but certain versions of this quarter have become incredibly valuable, highly sought after by collectors around the world. And by the end of this video, you'll find out just how much one of these quarters could be worth. And trust me, it's going to surprise you. Let's take a closer look at what makes the Massachusetts quarter so unique. Released in the year 2000, it was the sixth coin in the 50 State Quarters program, a historic series launched by the U.S. Mint to celebrate each of the 50 states. These coins sparked a collecting craze across the nation, and millions of people began checking their change, hunting for state quarters to complete their sets. The Massachusetts quarter features a powerful design that pays tribute to the state's revolutionary roots. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see the image of a Minuteman, a symbol of the citizen soldiers who stood ready to fight at a moment's notice during the American Revolution. Behind the Minuteman is a silhouette of the state of Massachusetts itself, with a bold star marking the capital, Boston. The coin proudly bears the words "The Bay State," Massachusetts' official nickname. This design is more than just decorative. It's a tribute to the birth of a nation. Massachusetts was the site of key events like the Boston Tea Party and the battles of Lexington and Concord. This coin reminds us of the state's historic significance, making it a meaningful addition to any coin collection. But here's where things get truly exciting. Not every Massachusetts quarter is created equal. While the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins for circulation, a tiny fraction contain rare and valuable minting errors that make them worth far more than face value. So what kind of errors should collectors be looking for? One of the most sought after is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is struck twice, creating a doubled image on letters or parts of the design. On some Massachusetts quarters, you can spot doubling in the words Massachusetts or the Bay State, or even on the Minuteman's outline and musket. These doubling effects are not just fascinating, they can dramatically increase a coin's value. Another rare error to look out for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the image to be shifted off to one side. The more off-center the strike, while still showing the date and important features, the rarer and more desirable the coin becomes. Then there are clad layer errors, where the outer layer of the coin fails to fully bond to the inner core. This results in strange appearances, such as a copper-colored surface on one side, or even missing layers entirely. These errors are extremely rare and are considered very valuable in the numismatic world. And let's not forget about broad strikes, another unusual error where the coin is struck without the restraining collar that normally keeps the metal in place. The result? A coin that's wider than normal, with no defined edge, a clear visual indicator that something went wrong during minting. Now you might be asking, how do these errors even happen? Aren't coins made under strict quality control? Absolutely, but even in the most controlled environments, mistakes can slip through. The Mint produces billions of coins every year, and machines are not immune to small misalignments, worn dies, or timing issues. When errors do occur, they often get caught and melted down, but once in a while, one escapes into circulation. And when it does, collectors take notice. The Massachusetts quarter's historical design, combined with these rare minting errors, has made it one of the most fascinating and desirable quarters in the entire series. For collectors, it's not just about the metal or the face value. It's about the story, the symbolism, and the thrill of finding a rare gem hiding in plain sight. So how much can a Massachusetts quarter actually be worth? For common circulated examples without any error, the value is typically face value or slightly above for collectors trying to complete a set. However, if your quarter is in uncirculated condition, meaning it's never been used, with no scratches or wear, it can already be worth more. And if it contains a rare minting error, you're looking at serious collector value. In fact, rare Massachusetts quarters with dramatic errors and in top-grade condition have sold for incredible prices at auctions. Some collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are verified, graded, and encapsulated by professional services like PCGS or NGC. These certified coins are guaranteed authentic and given a grade based on their condition, which can push the price up even more. So, what's the highest known price paid for a rare Massachusetts quarter from the year 2000? One extremely rare version of this coin, featuring a significant mint error and in pristine, uncirculated condition, was reported to have sold for an eye-popping $80,000. That's right, 80,000 United States dollars for a single 25-cent coin. Just imagine, a coin that may be sitting unnoticed in your old change jar, in your glove compartment, or tucked away in a drawer could be worth more than a new car or a down payment on a house. This is what makes coin collecting so fascinating. It's not just about old money. It's about hidden history, rare mistakes, and the thrill of discovery. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep your eyes open. You never know when a rare gem might turn up in your pocket. Top 3, we're going to explore the incredible story of the Washington State Quarter, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors and shocked many with its skyrocketing value. At first glance, it's just another piece of pocket change. But hidden in the designs, details, and minting process of the Washington Quarter lies a fascinating world of history, rarity, and unexpected worth. And by the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much one of these coins has sold for, and it's not a small number. You're going to want to listen closely, because what you learn today could literally change the way you look at every quarter you touch from now on. The Washington State Quarter was released in 2007 as part of the U.S. Mint's iconic 50 State Quarters program, one of the most popular coin series in American history. Each state got its own unique design, minted in the order they joined the Union. Washington, the 42nd state, was honored with a stunning quarter that reflects its breathtaking natural beauty and its strong cultural identity. But on the reverse side of the coin, you'll find an elegant and powerful depiction of a leaping salmon with majestic Mount Rainier in the background. This design captures two of the most iconic images associated with the state: the salmon, a symbol of natural abundance and resilience, and Mount Rainier, a towering, snow-capped volcano that dominates Washington's skyline and represents strength and endurance. Alongside the artwork are the inscriptions: Washington, 1889, the year it became a state, and the Evergreen State, Washington's official nickname, which reflects its lush forests and green landscapes. It's a truly beautiful design, a miniature tribute to the Pacific Northwest that fits in the palm of your hand. But while the coin is already rich in symbolism and art, there's another side to this story, one that involves mistakes, anomalies, and the kind of rarity that collectors dream about. You see, while most of the Washington quarters were minted correctly and went into circulation like any other coin, a small number were struck with unusual errors. These minting errors are what can turn a regular quarter into a collector's holy grail point. One of the most valuable types of error found in the 2007 Washington quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the coin design is impressed onto the blank planchet twice by mistake, leading to a doubling effect. In some rare Washington quarters, you can spot doubling in the salmon's outline, in the letters of Washington, or even in the year and motto. These errors aren't just visible, they're dramatic. When a coin has such a noticeable double strike, collectors are willing to pay big money to own it. Another highly prized minting error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, and the design ends up skewed, often leaving a blank crescent along one edge. In the case of the Washington quarter, an off-center error that still shows the full date and state name is incredibly rare and valuable. Then we have the clad layer missing error. Quarters are typically made with a copper-nickel clad, layers of metal bonded together. But sometimes, the top layer fails to bond properly, revealing a coppery, dull surface underneath, or resulting in only one side being properly coated. These errors are striking to look at and highly collectible, especially when they occur on a recent coin like the 2007 quarter. But that's not all. Another error known as the broad strike occurs when the collar, the device that keeps the coin's shape, is missing during the strike. This leads to a coin that spreads out beyond its normal boundaries, resulting in a wider, flat-edged piece. Broad-struck coins are rare enough, but when combined with other features like uncirculated condition or double dies, their value can climb fast. And let's talk about condition. For a coin to reach high value, it must often be in uncirculated or mint state condition. That means it has never been used in commerce, has no scratches, and still has that original, beautiful shine. Coins that have been professionally graded by top companies like PCGS or NGC and given a high grade, such as MS 67 or higher, are far more valuable. Combine a rare error with near-perfect condition, and you have a recipe for a truly extraordinary coin. Now, for most people, this Washington quarter is just another coin in the laundry pile. But for those who know what to look for, those who understand the power of a minting error, the thrill of a rare find, this coin becomes something else entirely. It becomes a treasured why are collectors going so crazy for this quarter? Because it's not just a coin. It's a piece of American history, it's a canvas of art, and it's a mystery with every new discovery. Each error coin tells a different story, and only a small number exist. That scarcity is what drives the value higher and higher. People are willing to pay thousands, even tens of thousands, just to add one to their collection. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. One rare version of the 2007 Washington State quarter, featuring a dramatic mint error and preserved in flawless, uncirculated condition, was sold to a private collector for an astonishing price. Are you ready for it? That one single quarter sold for $81,000. Yes, 81,000 United States dollars. For a coin that originally cost just 25 cents. The next time you get change at the store or dig through your coin jar, take a moment to check. Look at the design. Look for doubling. Check for off-center strikes. You never know what might be hiding right under your nose. That ordinary-looking quarter could be your once-in-a-lifetime find. Top 4, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 2007 Wyoming State quarter, a coin that might not catch your eye at first glance, but it's one you'll definitely want to take a second look at after hearing what makes it so special. The Wyoming State quarter was released in 2007 as part of the wildly popular 50 State Quarters program by the United States Mint. This ambitious program, which ran from 1999 through 2008, featured unique designs for each of the 50 states. These coins circulated across the country and turned millions of Americans into casual coin collectors almost overnight. And among those 50 coins, the Wyoming quarter stands out in a surprisingly powerful way. On the reverse side of this coin, you'll find a simple yet striking image, a bucking horse and rider, a symbol of Wyoming's rugged spirit and cowboy culture. Beneath the image are the words, "The Equality State," a nickname celebrating Wyoming's status as the first U.S. state to grant women the right to vote. It's a powerful tribute to the state's identity, strength, independence, and equality. And while the design is minimalist, that simplicity carries deep meaning. Now here's where things start to get really interesting. While hundreds of millions of Wyoming quarters were struck and sent into circulation, not all of them are created equal. A small number of these coins left the U.S. Mint with unintentional errors, and it's those mistakes that have made the 2007 Wyoming quarter a star in the world of coin collecting. Let's talk about some of the rare minting errors that can turn an everyday quarter into a collector's dream. First up, the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is impressed twice onto the surface, slightly misaligned. On the Wyoming quarter, doubling can sometimes be seen in the lettering, like in the words, Wyoming, the Equality State, or even in the horse and rider itself. These doubled images aren't always obvious at first glance, but to a trained eye, or even under a magnifying glass, they can reveal something incredibly rare. Next, there's the clad layer missing error. Quarters are made of a copper core sandwiched between layers of nickel. But sometimes, the outer layer doesn't bond correctly, leaving a portion of the coin exposed in raw copper or even with one side missing its finish. This gives the coin a unique, off-color appearance. And collectors go absolutely wild for these. That we also have the off-center strike, one of the most visually obvious mint errors. If the blank coin isn't properly aligned when struck, you end up with a design that is skewed. Part of the image is missing on one side, while the opposite side may have a blank crescent. Depending on how far off-center it is, and whether the date and state name are still visible, these coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That let's not forget the broad strike error. This occurs when a coin is struck without the collar that shapes its edges, causing it to expand outward. The result is a coin with no rim, a wider diameter, and a completely different feel than a normal quarter. Broad-struck Wyoming quarters are rare, especially if they're in great condition. But perhaps the most mysterious and exciting error of them all is what collectors refer to as the extra hoof error. In this version of the Wyoming quarter, there appears to be an extra shape or line near the horse's legs, making it look as if the horse has more than 4 limbs. This oddity is believed to be the result of a die gouge, a small flaw in the coin die itself that caused an unintended bump in the final design. These types of design errors are incredibly rare, and when found in excellent condition, they can skyrocket in value. Condition matters a lot when it comes to any valuable coin. A Wyoming quarter in uncirculated or mint state condition, meaning it's never been used in daily transactions, will always carry a premium. But if it's been professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC and found to have a rare error combined with a high grade, the value can go through the roof. Think about it. A coin that may have sat in someone's pocket, passed through countless hands, or rattled around in a cash register could actually be a priceless rarity if it managed to survive in pristine condition, especially if it has one of these rare mint errors. SOY is the Wyoming quarter, one of the most simply designed coins in the state series, suddenly turning heads in the coin world. It's that combination of symbolism, scarcity, and minting mishaps. The minimalist artwork allows error details to stand out more clearly, making anomalies more noticeable and thus more valuable to collectors. Add in the fact that some errors only appear in a small fraction of the total minted coins, and you've got the perfect storm of rarity and demand. Collectors are always chasing uniqueness. Whether it's a double die, off-center strike, broad strike, missing clad layer, or strange design error, these flaws create stories, and stories drive value. People love the idea of owning something one of a kind, something that no one else has. And in the case of the 2007 Wyoming State Quarter, that dream has become a reality for a few very lucky people. So now, the big question, how much can one of these error coins actually sell for? If you're holding a Wyoming quarter that features a rare error, is in uncirculated condition, and has been graded by a reputable coin service, you could be in for a major payday. In fact, one of these remarkable quarters, with a rare mint error and near-perfect preservation, has sold for a jaw-dropping amount. That single quarter, a 2007 Wyoming State quarter with a rare and dramatic mint error, was sold for an incredible $78,000. That's right, 78,000 US dollars for a 25-cent coin. A piece of change that could be sitting unnoticed in someone's coin jar, purse, or pocket right now. So, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and curious collectors, the next time you're handed a quarter in change, don't ignore it. Look at it closely. Examine the details. You never know, you might be holding a hidden gem worth more than most people could imagine. Top 5, we're going deep into the story of a very special coin, the 2002 Louisiana State Quarter. It's more than just change. It's a tribute to American culture, history, and in rare cases, a collector's goldmine. The Louisiana Quarter was released in 2002 as part of the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program, one of the most successful coin series in U.S. history. The goal of the program was to honor each state with a unique design, issued in the order the states joined the Union. Louisiana became the 18th state in 1812, and its quarter reflects the state's rich cultural roots, a blend of French, Spanish, African, and Caribbean influences, all layered with deep American history. Now, let's talk design. The reverse of the 2002 Louisiana Quarter is bursting with meaning. It features the image of the Louisiana Purchase, one of the most important events in American history, when the U.S. bought a vast stretch of land from France in 1803. The coin displays an outline of the newly acquired territory along with the inscription, Louisiana Purchase. There's also a pelican, the state bird, gracefully flying across the design, a proud nod to Louisiana's wildlife. And just below, there's a traditional jazz musician blowing a trumpet, capturing the soul of New Orleans and the birthplace of jazz. The design is a celebration. It honors a legacy of culture, music, history, and freedom. But here's the part that makes collectors pay attention. Not every Louisiana quarter was minted perfectly. And when imperfections happen at the mint, those rare errors can turn a regular quarter into a small treasure. Let's talk about some of those minting errors. The quirks and mistakes that make certain Louisiana quarters extremely valuable. Point one of the most popular errors found in the Louisiana quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the die, the metal stamp that creates the image on the coin, impresses the design twice, slightly misaligned. On some rare Louisiana quarters, this doubling can be seen in the letters of Louisiana, the word purchase, or even in the outlines of the pelican or trumpet player. These doubled details may not be obvious at first glance, but under close inspection, they reveal a rare, unintentional artwork, and that's where the value begins to soar. Another sought-after mistake is the off-center strike. When the blank coin isn't properly aligned in the machine during minting, the entire design can shift to one side. The more dramatic the misalignment, as long as the date and major design elements are still visible, the more collectors will pay for it. An off-center Louisiana quarter with a clean visible date can be a jackpot. Then we have the clad layer error. U.S. quarters are made from layers of metal, mostly copper in the core, with a nickel coating on the outside. Sometimes, the outer layer is improperly bonded or partially missing, exposing the reddish copper underneath. A Louisiana quarter with a missing clad layer on one side can appear dull, discolored, or even thinner. These coins are rare and always turn heads in collector circles. There are also broad strike errors, where the coin was minted without the retaining collar. This allows the coin to spread out wider than normal with no reeded edges. A Louisiana quarter struck this way will look slightly oversized and feel smooth around the rim. A subtle but highly collectible mistake. Another extremely rare variety includes struck-through errors, where a piece of debris or a thread got between the die and the planchet during the strike. This can leave odd textures or grooves on the coin's surface. When found on a coin as symbolic as the Louisiana quarter, these struck-through errors become fascinating conversation pieces for collectors. But let's not forget, even without a dramatic error, condition alone can drastically increase value. A Louisiana quarter in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially one graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, is far more valuable than a circulated coin. Grades like MS 65, MS 67, or MS 69 mean the coin has minimal imperfections and retains full luster. Combine that kind of pristine condition with a minting error, that's when things get really exciting. Why is this particular quarter so interesting to collectors? It's partly because of the unique cultural identity it represents: jazz music, American expansion, and the spirit of Louisiana. But it's also because fewer of these error coins made it into the public's hands. They're not just rare, they're elusive. That mystery drives up both the demand and the price. Over the years, more collectors have discovered these rare error varieties in coin rolls, old change jars, or collections passed down through families. Some were smart enough to get their coin graded and verified, and those lucky enough to find the rarest varieties have seen life-changing returns. So, the big question: how much can a rare Louisiana quarter actually be worth? Well, for a standard, circulated quarter with no visible error, the value is usually face value, just 25 cents. Maybe a bit more to someone building a set. But for the rare ones, the error coins in top condition, the value can skyrocket. And now, here it is, the moment every coin collector waits. 4.1 Extremely rare example of the 2002 Louisiana State Quarter, featuring a dramatic mint error, in mint state condition, professionally graded and authenticated, was sold to a private collector for an astonishing total of $75,000. Yes, 75,000 United States dollars for a single quarter. Think about that. That's more than most people earn in an entire year from one tiny coin. So next time you're handed change, take a second look. Examine every detail. Check the edges, inspect the surface. Because one of those coins could be hiding a mistake that makes it a one-in-a-million find. If you enjoyed this journey into the story behind the Louisiana quarter, and you want to learn more about rare coins, valuable errors, and the treasure hiding in everyday currency, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap that bell icon so you never miss a discovery. We've got plenty more rare coins to talk about, and who knows, your next big find might already be in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting!